Well, definitely my solo project, it's all me. I think at the end of the day, going back to what I was telling you earlier, I'm not clouded by anything else but just the things that I feel passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
I started my own label about 4 or 5 years ago, and I love the freedom that I've been able to have, and to be able to go in the studio whenever I want and to create any kind of sound I want to do. And I think at the end of the day, this album speaks to the truth of where I really want to go as an artist. And at this point, it's like kind of putting my best foot forward. This album is really like what I feel like are the strongest songs that I had in my library that I really, I wanted to hone a little bit more, wanted to tweak to its final form, and I really feel like I got each one individually to a point where I'm really proud, and I'm not no longer listening for critiques in the musical side. I feel like all 13 really speak to different parts of actually where I was in my life.
Gotcha.
Emotionally, or just I kind of like to call them chapters in my life,
mm-hmm.
and all put together in one cohesive book that I will hopefully continue to write on in my life and making new music. But right now, I feel like the fans are getting the purest raw me that they've never got before. And again, all my fans, I want my fans to know that I wrote these lyrics that they're listening to, and so these are all coming from a personal point. I co-produced pretty much every song on the album, so I was in the nitty-gritty from the very early stages of the songs being formed to the very final when, going even into the mixing room. I was very hands-on with every single song, and I handpicked each one because I really felt like they spoke volumes of where I was as an artist and the journey that I've gone on. And again, I feel like that is really where I want to continue to go with my career, be truthful with where I am lyrically and continue to grow sonically so that I'm always pushing the boundary and stepping out and not being afraid to take risks
mm-hmm.
and try new things. Because I feel like there's a lot inside of me that still has not been fully tapped. So I just want my fans to know that this is just the beginning, and there's a lot to come. And like I said, I've got a great band that travels with me, and I want it to be about the music. I want people to really see that I'm a real singer, and I'm a real artist,
yeah.
and I want people to really go on the journey with me. You know what? Inner Warrior was it was not only a name from one of the songs on the album, but Inner Warrior to me was like finding my inner strength to get through all the challenges of putting out an album in today's, world, of like not wanting to follow I wasn't trying to follow trend setting. I wasn't
mm-hmm.
trying to sound like anybody else. And I had to overcome my own obstacles just to get the album to where it was. It just, like I said, nothing comes overnight, and this process may not be, there's no formula to making music. This was my process. It took a few years to get, like I said, a body of work where I was really proud enough to put out a cohesive body of work on an album. And like I said, in life, there are challenges that we go through, and I had to channel my inner warrior to really get this album to where it is today. So, in a way, I just felt like that was just a cool, just a way of representing the album. Also encourage the fans to channel whatever it is in our lives that we may be going through, and just follow your dreams, follow your passions. And at the end of the day, if you truly, truly believe in anything you do, you just have to get to the finish line. For me, I was starting a lot of songs and not finishing them, and there's just other complications not to go into along the way that just happen, in life.
Yeah.
And we go on our journeys. So at the end of the day, I think that's what I can encourage other people to do is just when you start something, you go and you believe in it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Go 100 million%. You go as strong, go as long as you can until you feel like you did what you started out to do. It's a vision, it all starts off with planting a seed, and you eventually got to let it grow into this beautiful tree. So, that was kind of in a nutshell why I called it Inner Warrior. Well, I can definitely tell you, I don't know if I have one, well, here's the thing. I'll give you my favorites, and then I think I'll try to give you my all-time favorites.
Okay.
My favorites on the album, where I really just my go-to would be Hurricane, Inner Warrior,
Mm-hmm.
Sweet September, Right Away, and Sail On. I think those would be my top 5, just thinking off the top of my head,
Okay.
of like my 5 favorites that I just like. There's something about them, and again, they're all very special to me. But those would be like the ones that I would probably pick, and maybe even like the singles. Normally, like when you say you pick the singles, those would be the 5 singles I would pick.
Okay.
Now, in terms of like my favorite off the album, I would say Hurricane.